One business is at the forefront of the incredible growth of dedicated gaming phones in recent years. Although Nubia doesn't always produce the finest gaming smartphones, it does produce the most. A startling 16 phones with the Red Magic name have hit the market in less than 4 years. Since most of these have been widely distributed, a new model is always on the horizon. But even by its own standards, Nubia's update cycle for 2022 is ambitious. Just 3 months after its predecessor's global release, the Red Magic 7S Pro, making significant updates extremely improbable. It's hardly surprising to see the appearance remain the same since Nubia changed it significantly with the Red Magic 7 Pro. It makes use of a combination of components like glass and aluminum that are often found in flagship phones. The biggest and most noticeable difference between this phone and standard handsets is a thick metal plate that runs down the middle of the back of the phone. Nubia claims that this will enhance heat dissipation, yet it dramatically increases the weight of the 7S Pro. At 235 grams, it weighs the same as the 7 Pro, but is still among the heaviest smartphones available. Long gaming sessions don't present a problem, although prolonged one-handed use can be uncomfortable. A rectangular back camera module with 3 lenses and a flash may be found inside that heat dissipation plate. With a 10mm thickness, the 7S Pro is relatively thick and nearly flush with the back of the phone. The Obsidian model I tried is more subdued than previous Red Magic phones, despite the fact that it is clear from the rear appearance that this is a gaming phone. Although there is a silver variant as well, the transparent model is absent from the global version. The 7S Pro isn't the phone for you if you're searching for an eccentric appearance. Nubia has done a wonderful job at keeping the built-in fan hidden on both models. You wouldn't even notice it was there if it weren't for a few grills and the sound whirring it makes when it's operating. The Red Magic 7S Pro is smaller than you may anticipate, but maintains a huge 6.8-inch display. This is due to the phone's under-display selfie camera, which eliminates the need for a notch. Although the lens is still just about visible, an amazing screen-to-body ratio of 87.1% is still quite remarkable. Sooner or later, hopefully, all phones will resemble this. Fortunately, Face Unlock doesn't require the front-facing camera. You can handle that using the in-display fingerprint sensor, but I wasn't happy with how well it worked. Although setup is straightforward, the phone frequently required many tries to recognize me. Additionally, the 7S Pro requires a lengthier press to unlock than you might be accustomed to. The phone's sides haven't changed, yet it still looks significantly distinct from other handsets. It is quite obvious which way to operate the phone in landscape mode, because the twin shoulder triggers, one of the fan grills, and the power and volume controls are all together. Only the actual slider for activating game space is present on the opposite side. It's wonderful to see the headphone jack and one of the 2 speakers still located at the top. The other is at the bottom, next to USB-C charging connector and a dual SIM card tray. The latter's location could present a challenge during playing since charging can be uncomfortable. The ROG phones from Asus circumvent this issue with a second side-mounted connector, however Nubia has chosen not to. Nothing has changed on the Red Magic 7S Pro successor, despite the controversy over Nubia's controversial display revisions. That implies it is still clearly inferior to the top phone screens in 2022, which is unexpected for a product of this price. Still, you get a 6.8-inch, 1080 by 2400 AMOLED panel, with the increasingly popular 20:9 aspect ratio. Although a greater resolution would be good, other display features are more important for gaming. They feature a fast refresh rate, which the 7S Pro also has. However, you are only allowed 120Hz here, although many gaming phones choose 144Hz or 165Hz. Even while Nubia has a good counter-argument that many games don't support high refresh rates, the less expensive Red Magic 7S nevertheless features a display that leads its class at 165Hz. Although you can manually reduce this to 60Hz or 90Hz to save battery life, the refresh rate still cannot change according to what you are doing. The 7S Pro boasts the greatest touch sampling rate of any smartphone to assist mitigate this. It may register up to 960 times per second because it is 960 Hz. When combined with the 520 Hz shoulder triggers, it makes the display incredibly smooth and responsive, which could be the difference in FPS games. While playing combat games like Call of Duty and PUBG, I undeniably felt more assured. Even the most dedicated gamer, though, won't play non-stop. I'm happy to report that the display is great for general use, giving vivid colors and lots of information. Despite being highly reflective, it also boasts a wide range of viewing angles. But the brightness, or lack thereof, disappointed me. I only measured 252 nits at the highest, which is significantly less than most other phones. As a result, using a phone outside is really challenging. When the sun was out, I frequently had to squint to see anything. The 7S Pro includes 2 speakers, as was previously mentioned. They create stereo sound that is much better than the typical smartphone, with snappy music and powerful bass. They also become incredibly loud, although at loud volumes, many details are lost. Despite the fact that many gamers would rather connect headphones, these aid in providing an immersive gaming experience. The Red Magic 7S Pro has a few minor changes, but the processor is undoubtedly the most important. It is powered by Qualcomm's newest flagship chip, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Minor improvements over the standard 8 Gen 1 are made, but the Red Magic brand's reputation for superior performance is upheld. The model I tested combines it with 12 gigs of RAM, but if you require more power, there is also an option for 18 gigs. Given the outstanding performance the 7S Pro already provides, I doubt it. With its quick smooth images and outstanding responsiveness, this phone makes gaming a pleasure. I tested some of the Play Store's most taxing games, such as Call of Duty, PUBG, and Asphalt 9, and there was absolutely no lag. I had the impression that I had a significant advantage over players using a conventional smartphone, thanks to the 120Hz frame rate and 960Hz touch sampling. The fan, which starts up as soon as you load a game and is rather noisy, is the one drawback. It implies that the phone never feels very warm to the touch, but unless you turn on some music, it can be distracting. I tried totally shutting off the fan, but the phone quickly became quite hot. I wouldn't advise doing this. Excellent gaming performance translates into practical application as usual. Even when using split-screen multitasking, popular programs like Chrome, Gmail, Maps, and YouTube all function flawlessly. Actually, it provides much more performance than you'll ever require for any simple activities. Although the worldwide version does not offer 1 TB of storage, it is a choice in China. Even without microSD expansion, 256 or 512 gigs should still be more than enough for the majority of users. The 7S Pro boasts 3 rear cameras, just like many other Red Magic smartphones in the past. However, most of the work is being done here by the 64-megapixel primary sensor. It delivers shots you wouldn't generally associate with a gaming phone, making it by far the greatest lens on the phone. Buildings, people, and animals are all exceptionally well-suited subjects with this lens. It also created several pretty high-quality portrait-style photos, which really amaze me. Even though the edge detection isn't perfect, it still produces an outstanding background blur. The software-based night mode enhances low-light images without making them appear unnaturally bright. Many important specifics, though, remain gone. It also created several pretty high-quality portrait-style photos, which really amaze me. Even though the edge detection isn't perfect, it still produces an outstanding background blur. The software-based night mode enhances low-light images without making them appear unnaturally bright. Many important specifics, though, remain gone. The latter also has an impact on landscape photographs, and overexposure is a regular problem. In those circumstances, you could be tempted to upgrade to the 8 megapixels ultra-wide sensor, but it is not worthwhile due to the quality loss. A 120 degrees field of view's versatility is a really wonderful choice, therefore it's a terrible shame. A 5000 mAh battery is included with the Red Magic 7S Pro. That's a respectable amount of storage space, but it must deal with a big display with a high refresh rate and numerous resource-intensive apps. However, the device may be made to last for a very long time. I was away from the charger for around 12 hours, with the refresh rate set to 60 Hz, and there was still about 70% battery life. That remained true despite often using GPS and mobile data, as well as keeping brightness near its maximum setting. If and when you do run out of charge, a 65-watt charger is packaged with the device. Again, this is a significant improvement over the 135-watt adapter included with the Chinese version of the phone, but it is by no means slow. The battery may be fully charged in less than 30 minutes, although wireless charging is still not available. The 7S Pro runs Red Magic OS over Android 12 as promised. Although not much has changed, this custom skin for Nubia is version 5.5. The branding of gaming enhancements as Red Magic Force, and a home screen wallpaper rotation with complete links to popular articles, are notable additions. According to Nubia, Red Magic phones receive updates for an additional 1.5 to 2 years, the majority of which are security fixes. A significant Android version update is anticipated for every generation of phones, although it is not a given. Even then, Android 13 is most likely to be the Red Magic 7S Pro's last significant update. This is disappointing in compared to Samsung's pledge of 4 significant updates and Google's close pursuit. For $899 more, you can upgrade to 512 gigs of storage and 18 gigs of RAM, but outside of China, those are your only 2 choices. At this pricing point, there is very little space for error, and 7S Pro still makes compromises in some crucial areas. You can get better value elsewhere as a result. Although the Red Magic 7S Pro is a fantastic gaming phone, there are several reasons to hold off on purchasing one. The Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 offers outstanding gaming performance, especially when coupled with a 120Hz OLED panel, and a class-leading 960Hz touch sampling. The less expensive ordinary 7S, however, avoids the hassle of an under-display fingerprint reader, and boasts a faster refresh rate of 165 Hz. Although the battery life is excellent, China does not offer the lightning-fast 135-watt charging, and wireless charging is still not available. In addition to being unreliable, the cameras are also big and have a muted look that won't appeal to everyone. The Red Magic 7S Pro is only the perfect choice if you use your phone in a very specific way, even if you're determined on purchasing a gaming phone. There are better options available for everyone else. Thank you for watching this review. I hope it was useful for you. Have a nice day and see you soon.